Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? It's Charlie here, and I've been lazy here getting to some of these questions. I've got a gentleman, he's an American university student, his name is Greg, and he's got some Serbian blood in him, and he's interested in coming here to Serbia. He sent me this message about a week and a half ago, and I meant to get back to him, but I haven't. So let's get on this. Hello, Charles. I'm a 19-year-old American university student visiting my mom's, who was born and raised in Serbia, then Yugoslavia's family this August. I am interested in Serbian history and culture, and it will be the first time traveling outside of the United States by myself, and I am more than a little nervous. I went 10 years ago with my mom, but that is too long ago for me to remember anything about the country. Izvinite. I have a few questions regarding my trip to Serbia. Question 1. I do not speak Serbian. I know a few words and phrases, but nothing more than that. I tried to learn the language by myself, but my study of the language was interrupted constantly. Join the club. What is the probability in becoming more fluent in the Serbian language during my month-long stay? It's all on you, big man. You know, I thought 3.5 years would help me, but it doesn't. But I'm absolutely lazy, and everybody I know, everybody I hang out with speaks English and likes to speak English, so I speak English. If you're here to be serious about Serbian and going out with Serbians and forcing them to speak Serbian around you, you will. You could easily pick up things. There's a lot of Palestinian guys that come here. There's a 6-month course they take. When they're finished, they study medicine, economics, engineering in Serbian language. So, you know, it's definitely possible, but it's all on you, big man. I don't know. You tell me how devoted you are to it, because I've slacked. I'm going to Smederevo and Belgrade in particular. I bet a lot has changed in 10 years. So are these cities relatively safe? My grandmother calls my mother to tell her of attacks on Western visitors in the town, and this is what has me worried and even causes me to doubt if I should go. Oh my God, do not. Smederevo. I've been to Smederevo. It's got one of the most beautiful fortresses in Serbia. Small little place. Oh my God, you will have no problems there. Belgrade, you could possibly have some problems, but this country is it's one of the safest places you could go, really. You know, you don't see rapes, you don't see murders, you don't see lots of robberies and things here, you know, like you would expect for a really shit economy in Eastern Europe, but it's not. I think that people are raised with a little bit of decency, maybe. You don't have the extreme poverty, homelessness that we have in the USA. The issues here in one city that's trouble, you know, my rib, if you watch my videos, I got a little roughed up by a big group of kids here in Novi Sad. Novi Sad's turned into a probably one of the most dangerous cities in Serbia due to the fact that there's narco gangs here. There was a shooting a while back, a couple weeks, same day I got my rib broken. There was some of that, but it's a lot of those gangs here, and the hooliganism in Belgrade. Other than that, you won't. When your grandma talks about attacks on Westerners, there's one guy that writes a blog about Serbia constantly. He was beat up maybe, what's that been, 1.5 years ago or something, because they thought he was gay because he was on a bike skating or something, I don't know. But man, if you just be sensible, it's 10 times safer, I guarantee, than any, even close to the similar sized city in USA. Guaranteed, buddy. People will be friendly to you. They're going to be interested in you. They're going to want to hang out with you. I've already got people that want to meet you because I talked to them about you. So I gave them your email. I hope that's okay. Charles. Will the fact that I am from the United States and speak English and some German draw unwanted attention, or could I expect to be ostracized due to the history between the two countries? I try not to let past tensions and politics get in the way of making friends and having a good time, but will the locals think the same way? How widely is English spoken? Okay, will speaking English draw unwanted attention? No. People listen to you when you speak English. It might draw a little bit of attention, but maybe unwanted attention. Sometimes it is unwanted for me if I go into a place to order a pljeskavica and there's a bunch of people around, and then I gotta say, jako malo pričam srpski, ja sam Amerikanac, you know, do you speak English? And then everybody looks at you. Never, ever, ever had a problem with that, except these little assholes last weekend, 2 weeks ago. Nobody's going to get people like that. You know, they're interested in that we're here. And the history between our countries, they don't blame American people. They blame the government, and, you know, just a small, tiny, minuscule percent would blame an American because they know that we have very little to do with our own, whatever the fuck our government wants to do. You try to not let past tensions and politics get in the way, that's great, and you won't have to. You know, my Palestinian friends, I bring them up a lot because they're so different, and everything that I'd heard here was negatives about Muslims, that they didn't like Muslim people, but that they have so many friends. People like them. They're interested in why they're here, what they're doing here, and why they chose Serbia. So you're not going to have a worry and issues about that. English is widely spoken. That's how I can be here for 3.5 years and not have to speak Serbian language. Okay, you're not going to have to worry. You go up to any younger person under 30, like I've stated before in my videos, and you will be fine, brother. What is the general attitude of Serbs toward foreigners? I work with a lady from Serbia, but she is kind of the opposite of open and welcoming, and I was wondering if I can expect that feeling when I go there. I don't mean to stereotype, but my curiosity has questions racing through my mind. They love foreigners here, and you go up to somebody on the street and ask for help, and you're a foreigner, they're going to help you. They're going to walk you to where you want to go usually. People love it, you know. If I'm in a shop and I'm asking somebody if they speak, if the clerk speaks English, somebody next to me, maybe the clerk doesn't, somebody next to you will say, hey, I speak English, how can I help you? You know, people just want to help. They love foreigners here. They're going to treat you wonderfully as long as you're respectful, you're interested in them, you're interested in their culture and things like that, because it goes both ways. You know, I'm very, very open. I love talking to everybody. When I go to a bar, I talk to people, and people are friendly. You know, they're good people. I want to try to make friends over there. So what are some do's and don'ts in social situations? Is there anything that I should do so I don't end up being ostracized? Not really, man. You know? Show an interest in people. And, you know, I've said this before in my other videos. You might not want to, if you're pro-Kosovo independence, don't talk about it. You know, if you don't like Sheshel, if you don't like politicians here, don't say it, you know. Keep those, same in the USA, you don't talk about religion, politics in a public setting unless you know somebody. People here like to talk about it. My close friends, we talk about everything, but you don't want to, you know, because it's just negative. But do's and don'ts in a social situation, not really. You know, a few differences maybe. Serbians kiss a couple times when they meet each other, but you don't have to do that, you know. To the girls, once you get to know them, it's really a little bit more when you get to know them, but there's nothing that'll really hold you back. You know, just be yourself and be interested in them, and they're going to be interested in you, and you will have no problems making friends here, you know, guaranteed. I get too many. I'll sell you a couple. What is the chance of having interactions with the Roma people, and what is the best way to react in those situations? What are the chances of having an interaction with a Roma person in Smederevo and in Belgrade? Probably 1,000,000,000% chance that you will have an encounter with a Roma person. They're all over here. And the best way to interact with them people is just say, no, I'm sorry, or give them 10 dinara, okay? You know, don't mess with them, you know. But maybe if you're, if it's an old lady, give her 10 dinara. If it's a young kid, usually what I like to do, and I do here in Novi Sad because I know all the younger Roma, because they know who I am and they know I'm an American, unfortunately, and they know where I hang out, so they're there almost every day. There's a pizza place across the place. So when they come over asking for money, I buy them a piece of pizza. But that can be expensive too. A piece of pizza is 120 dinara. But when they bring 3 or 4 other gypsy children here, you know, and say, hey, we need money, I say, no, you know, they kind of can take advantage of it. So don't let them take advantage of it. Don't give them a lot of attention, maybe. Give them what you have, maybe, and buy them a piece of food, something to eat is the best way to interact. But you shouldn't have any issues with them. You know, usually they'll come over and sit for 10 minutes. If you say no, nah. They might send there for a few minutes, but just ignore them. How much money should I bring? Considering that I'm a college kid, shoestring budget, ha ha ha. Hey, I'm on a shoestring budget too because I work here. So, if you go to Smederevo, I don't know where you're going to stay. Everything depending on your apartment, okay? If you're staying with family, maybe you're staying with family and then you don't have any apartment or any bill like that, then you'd be safe with 500 euros, $500, okay? If you're going to get an apartment, if you're going to get a decent apartment that's 200 euros, 250 euros, if you're in Smederevo, you could find one for 100 euros. But if you do that, I'd bring about $1,000. Anyway, I'd bring $1,000. 800 you could get by with, I'm sure. You can still have a good time. If you say you're on a shoestring budget, you're a college kid, so you could eat a piece of burek every morning for breakfast. It's less than $1. You could eat a pljeskavica sometime in the afternoon, and that's about $1.50. So, I mean, eat on about $5 a day. Just general basic meals, though. Beers are about $1 something, if you go out. Nargila, I smoke nargila all the time. I get 30% discount because I'm in there every day. But it's about 500 dinar at $5. So I would bring 800, because if you bring 800 or 1,000, you're definitely going to have enough. Then you have things to buy, you'll be okay. Because a lot of Serbians in Smederevo, the wage per month is probably no more than 300 euros a month for them. So you're going to have a lot more than that, hopefully. Anyway, my friends, that's it. You said at the end, if I apologize, my questions are ignorant. They are not ignorant. You can email me anytime. I'm happy to help, and I hope I answered your questions, my friend. I'm going to continue with my friends in Smederevo that want to meet you. There's some other people I know, and I'd like to get them in touch with you because they like to meet foreigners, and so they would make sure that you have a great time. All right, buddy? Take care. Bye-bye.